I am cringe, but I am free, the cow says, staring out into the waves. But unlike this cow enjoying long walks on the beach, you are instead the cow trapped behind the open gates of others' approval. And while you could just walk around the gate, you're afraid to not give AF and look cringe. Because the truth is, you DGAF. You GAF real bad. As they say in the movie Black Swan, you could be brilliant, but you're a coward. And I'm not a cop. I'm not a cop. We live in a society that makes it very hard to not live life as a coward. We are constantly being overstimulated with images and stories of people that are younger than us, prettier than us, more successful than us, thick as fuck. As this Substack article says, you think you need to be good at something in the first try, that failure isn't an option. That's the lie that keeps you from trying, that keeps you stuck in the cycle of laziness. You've become comfortable with doing nothing because it's easier than facing the risk of not being good enough. You don't want to try anything because you're afraid of how it'll look to others, or really how you will look to others. I mean, forget about failure. What if Patrick was right? Maybe you're just cringe because you're ugly. You ever see someone make what should be a cringy video of them doing like anime movements or showing genuine human emotion, and the comments are like, face card saved you. Oh, should I take that as a compliment? Or like they still acknowledge they think that person was cringe as hell, but they also think that they were hot, so they'll allow it. Which makes sense, because when we find someone attractive, we assume that they have other attractive qualities as well, which makes their cringe not so cringe. Like, oh, well, because you're pretty, you're probably also funny and smart and a good cook, and don't let my looks fool you. I do not season my food. I'm working on it, guys. Sometimes people don't see someone's cringe at all because they were so blinded by their face card. You ever see those videos where someone is talking about something low-key serious and all the comments are like, whatever you say, beautiful. Like it's something like this. I actually don't listen to music because there's this traumatic situation with my grandma, and God, you're so beautiful. You're like a little tortured poet. Are you even listening to me? Not at all, no. The concept of being blinded by the face card gets reinforced in media, like in Ginny and Georgia, where they had her classmate Marcus, who she had just met, mind you, sneak into her window uninvited to confront her about going on a date with another guy. And then the show tries to gaslight us like, wait, it's not creepy, guys. Calm down. He's hot. Or with that TikTok trend, when you're getting robbed but he's your type, where a terrifying situation gets switched up into a meet cute real quick. And I know it's supposed to be a joke, but I be thinking it's serious because we see stories like the Tinder swindler and the Danish deception where people are losing all their money to a 6'5" man with blonde hair and blue eyes who said that he was a millionaire, even though those checks were bouncing and they didn't even clock that as suspicious. Because he was hot. And before you come after all the women in these stories like, I would never, I want you to think about all those times you were never in like never before. Because have you or a loved one ever related to posts such as me ignoring all of his red flags because I have to look up to him when talking to him? Or when you ignore all the obvious red flags because he's hot and inevitably get hurt? Because you may be entitled to compensation. Sue him! Sue everybody involved! Sue yourself! And whenever I've been in a situation where someone I liked was hot but horrible, and I was just like, you know what, I'ma just roll with it, like gang gang. It was always during a time where I was incredibly insecure and had no self-respect. So yeah. Because that halo effect that makes you think that them being hot means they have other positive qualities as well affects how you see yourself. Like, wait a minute, I thought that I was ugly, but this hot person likes me, so maybe that means I'm hot too? Like, it feels like their affection validates your worth, which of course will make you feel real worthless if they walk out that door. From personal experience, I didn't even know that people found me attractive until college, so I ended up crashing out over the randomest people because you said that I was beautiful, but now you don't like me anymore, so does that mean I'm ugly? Oh my God, my worst fears are coming true. So depending on others' approval is a dangerous game because let me tell you, sometimes those face cards do be declining. Attractive people can still think that they're ugly or even be told point blank that they're Choptimus Prime. I mean, have you ever noticed that the second there's a controversy about someone, one of the first things that people come for is their looks? Like, oh, that girl is problematic? Well, she was mid anyway. Whole time she looks like she just walked out of a magazine. Or when you break up with someone and your friends start going after them like they were manipulative, controlling, ugly, possessive, and you gotta stop them like, whoa, 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 they were never ugly. Like, the masculinization and demonization of Cynthia Erivo in Wicked does not get talked about enough. Like, during all the press tours, everyone was like, oh my God, Cynthia and Ariana are so weird. They're so weird together. But when Cynthia tries to protect Ariana from a fan running up up to her, all of a sudden there are these caricatures of Cynthia being this broad, buff figure while Ariana is her helpless damsel, which by itself is weird. And then once Wicked wrapped up, so many people flipped the script to Ariana being cool again, the argument being because she let go of Cynthia. I literally saw a post that I think might have been deleted at this point that was like, Ariana Grande, now that she's let go of this soul-sucking what? Guys, what are we doing? Like, this one TikTok just says it all. The concept of saying Ariana got better after Cynthia, even though Cynthia has been such a kind, gentle person to Ariana, and their friendship seemed so deep and connected. Like, did y'all not watch Wicked? Is no good deed going unpunished right now? Are we not repeating the plot in real life? And while Cynthia Erivo is beautiful, her style doesn't conform with conventional Eurocentric beauty standards. I mean, she bald, she shaved her eyebrows, she black! And this likely contributed to people demonizing Cynthia for her cringe while saying that Ariana was somehow a victim of it because Ariana does conform to the conventional beauty standards. The truth is, it's impossible to be a people pleaser, especially when it comes to looks, because the people are never pleased. Probably because they're not even pleased with themselves. Which reminds me, I have a question for you. Are you a certified hater? Do you give more grace to that crusty man than you do to your mistakes? Do you have crippling social anxiety because you can't forget about that time when someone asked how you were and you said blue? If you answered yes to any of these questions, you might be a little bit battered and betrayed victim of insecurity. Nobody actually cares what you're doing, which I know can be a tough pill to swallow because what do you mean you're not thinking about me every second of the day? I'm thinking about me every second of the day. There's this quote from a Bad Girls Media article that reads, "Part of what keeps us trapped in palatability is a fundamental misunderstanding about how much other people are actually paying attention. We imagine our transformations are being closely monitored, cataloged, judged. Every change of mind feels like it's being recorded in some permanent ledger of our inconsistencies. But the reality is, most people are so consumed with managing their own contradictions, navigating their own embarrassments, and maintaining their own brands that they have remarkably little bandwidth for tracking yours. The detailed inventory of all of your ideological pivots exists primarily in your own head." It's like you want to build a tower, but you're scared to start because you think people are going to be watching you like, oh my God, he looks so dumb. Like, that's not a tower, that's 3 bricks. He got 3 bricks right now. Yo is not bricked up. And I'm not gonna lie, your biggest fears might come true. But even when people care, they don't really care. Like, you might make a post and people from your school might send it to their group chat and make fun of you. I know because I've struggled and I've cried. But trying isn't what's cringe. What's cringe is making fun of someone else for doing so while not even putting yourself out there. And this could apply to anything. An idea you have, a project you want to work on, a job you're thinking about taking. By the way, if you are on the fence about taking a job because you're embarrassed about what other people will think, I just got one thing to say. Girl, clock in. There are bills that need to be paid. The bills aren't embarrassed, so why are you? Hello, we're in a recession. I had a family friend who kept having to delay her college graduation and was being made fun of by a family member for still working as a server in a restaurant. And guess what? She ended up using that server money to finish college and now she works at NASA. And even if that wasn't her ultimate goal, like, damn, lay off. Can a girl not get her coins? Groceries are not free, mamas. The point is, the haters are trying to distract you from living your life and being great. My friend Tia told me the other day that when you start something new, if you don't have haters, you're doing something wrong, because it's supposed to have an ugly phase. Fearing the cringe is a ploy by Big Cool trying to stop you from reaching your potential. Let me refer you to this diagram. Whatever idea you have, you're probably gonna look dumb as hell trying to do it for a long time before it works. But sitting on your idea and talking about how much you want to do it without ever starting it because you don't want to stand out and be different also looks dumb as hell low key, like, wake up, sheeple. And this is coming from someone that struggles with crippling social anxiety. Like, did I freak out when my friend didn't respond to me for a couple hours and went into a spiral about how much that they hate me until they finally text me back and I was like, oh, okay, so it was actually all in my head. Yes. Did I also post links to my YouTube videos in high school on my Instagram story? Also yes, for some reason. Hey, you don't gotta do all that. I don't even know why I did all that, but you know, you get the point. To be cringe really is to be free because it's all about not being afraid to take action. As long as that action is not to cause harm to others, let me be clear. When you take action on your impulses, it helps you feel more in control of your own life. Meanwhile, when you don't take action on your impulses, you're probably gonna feel controlled because you're dependent on the approval of others. And if you need any inspiration, take it from the queen of cringe herself, Carrie Bradshaw, in Sex and the City. Like, say what you want about Miss Girl, but she acted on those impulses. Like, sis really made her life a movie, because how are you gonna stand outside your ex's engagement party just so you could tell him some movie quote like, "Your girl is lovely, Hubble," when, mind you, Hubble is not his name, and then when he goes, "I don't get it," you gonna say some, "and you never did," before walking off like you just dropped the quote of the century. That's a girl living with no regrets. That's a girl that's the main character of her own life. And while I cannot condone acting a fool for a man, I do admire her tendency as a character to always take action, even though a lot of those actions were definitely questionable, because a lot of times we end up regretting what we didn't do more than what we did. Because at least if you regret something that you did do, you know how it played out and you can choose differently moving forward. But when it comes to regretting something that you didn't do, it's like, I guess we'll never know. If it wasn't for people taking a chance to be cringe, we would not laugh. We would not have held space for Wicked. We would never have been introduced to the hilarious antics of Brittany Broski, formerly known as Kombucha Girl. We would never have seen the many faces of Keke Palmer. There would be no Radio Rebel. There wouldn't even be the internet that I'm posting this video on, because all of those people would have stayed frozen in their inaction over their desire to look cool. Everything is cringe until it's popular, and sometimes even when it's popular, people still say it's cringe. But like, liking anime used to be seen as hella embarrassing, but now major celebrities are pulling up in cosplay like it's cool. So cringe is just one of those bullets you gotta bite, I fear, if you want to do anything with your life. But it's okay to take baby steps. Like with some of the 10 rules that artist and teacher Karita Kent made with her Immaculate Heart College art department. Rule 4, consider everything an experiment. This rule reminds us that when it comes to trying something new or working towards a goal, it doesn't have to be about proving something, it can just be about learning. Seeing what works, seeing what doesn't, and modifying your tests as you go. Which leads to Rule 6, nothing is a mistake. There's no win and no fail. There's only make. Wait, that's IKEA Bob. Like, nothing is a mistake. Nothing is a mistake. No fail, only make. No fail, only make. The last rule I want to highlight is Rule 8. Don't try to create and analyze at the same time. They're different processes. Like I've said throughout this video, when it comes to trying something new, you will probably look stupid at first, and that's okay. Don't fight it. Don't hold on to it. It's screaming at you, release me! Whatever you try, it's gonna be clunky and annoying before it becomes effortless and graceful. That's just part of the process. Like, my YouTube videos were painfully bad when I first started. Everything I said sounded so awkward and forced, but I had to make it, let it go, and learn over time. And I'm still learning, so don't bully me, I'm sensitive. So go, be cringe, be free, see where it takes you. And if you have a dream, remember, nothing changes if nothing changes. Yay!